What up, you lab rats? This is episode number 58. Today we're talking about how to start freelancing. Stay tuned. Hello, my friends, and welcome to the Lab Rat Dailies, the in-between show of the main show on the Get the Lab podcast on Wednesday with me and Kevin. We talk about building a business on the Lab Rat Dailies. Is a daily show. Every day has a theme. Today's theme is Weekend Warrior. Teach you how to do stuff, okay? Mostly visual, so if you're listening on SoundCloud, I'd much prefer it if you come on over to YouTube and watch the show, okay? I'm very much a YouTube proponent. Okay, so let's get into today's show, okay? Because I'm going to try to keep the dailies kind of under 15 minutes now because that is where my retention is at. It's about 15 minutes. Sometimes I can get you guys for a good 29 minutes, as I see in my analytics. But, for the dailies, we're going to try to keep it to 15, all right? Okay, so let's talk about how to start freelancing. Freelancing is when you offer your services like as a temporary service contractor. You're offering somebody a service, and you can do it wherever, right? You're a free agent. You work for yourself, also known as a contractor. And freelancing on the side is the easiest, fastest way to make money for yourself, okay? And this is what I'm doing on Clean Media side. And it's pretty easy to go, okay, I could sell this, I could sell that, but how do you kind of decide what you want to do for yourself in the freelancing world when you do have so many skills, right? You do have so many skills. And if you don't realize that you have so many skills, you need to sit yourself down and say, I do actually have a lot to offer the world and freelance, because I think some people, they get stuck on, I don't have anything to offer. Nobody would want to learn anything from me. And that would be your kind of biggest problem right there, right? So step one, realize that you do have something to offer to people. And that could be anything from like, I know how to do this better than you. That's it. You don't have to be an expert. You don't have to be certified. Well, sometimes you do, if you're offering that kind of service. But for the most part, you could straight up freelance right now and offer to do, I don't know, some design work, some gardening, some heavy lifting. It really does not matter, right? So you can really open up a freelance on anything. But we're going to specifically talk about, which is my kind of realm, kind of like in the online space. I know how to do a lot of things. I have a lot of skills now that I've kind of finagled my way and experimented through running a business online and marketing online and offering services like shooting and headshots and wedding photography, consulting and things like that. Okay, so if you're like me and you've kind of run the gambit of, I could do that, I could do that, I could do that. I could certainly even do things like design websites and sell those websites. Do I want to do that? No, I do not. So here's the deal. When you are deciding to freelance your skills, okay, I really want you to think honestly and think hard about, yes, I'm skilled in those things, but should you be doing that? That is a decision that you need to make. And it's a decision that you shouldn't shy away from. And it often sometimes can become difficult because even though you're good at something, all right, doesn't mean that you should necessarily offer it. Because I'm just going to give you a specific example, something I'm going through right now, which is I can do clean headshots. I can design your website. I can tweak what you already have. I can do podcast artwork. I can do copywriting. I can market your shit online and manage your social media platforms. I can do all of that. And what I have found in my experience by doing that for free for other people and finding out what I really want to do is that I figured out I don't want to do all that crap. Okay? Not all that crap, some of that crap. So for example, I know how to shoot. I know how to shoot well. I know how to be a second shooter for somebody else. I know how to run a photography business, but I don't want to do that. So my thing is I was having the issue of still kind of going back to the old habit of, since I know how to do it, that's what I should sell. And so I want to pose this to you guys in that even though you know how to do something, if your heart is not 110% in it, right? We're always talking about creating content with heart. And if I am offering a service that I am not 110% committed in my heart to do, I should not be doing it. And so that is something that kind of came to the surface. Well, I took a little break yesterday. I did absolutely nothing, but it was good because it allowed for some little, self-reflection and finding out what I want to do with my company and what I want to do moving forward. So I figured out, with the help of Kevin, who helped me out, here's a suggestion for you, and you could do this and you can do this. And then that got my wheels going. Well, you know what? I am really passionate about this. I'm really passionate about marketing and about helping people. And I can still help people within the skills that I already know how to do, within the industry that I already am familiar with, but I don't have to do that stuff that my heart is not truly in. I can do what I'm really passionate about. And so as you guys start freelancing, if this is something that you want to do, freelancing and offering your services, just try to pay attention, right? Like maybe you can do it, but maybe you're not really feeling it in your heart. You're also not getting the feedback that you really want because you're not putting in your everything. Your heart's not in it. And I just want to remind you guys, as you start freelancing, to remember that you and your heart is a part of the equation, other than you just doing your job well, right? So you can be efficient as hell being a wedding photographer, but if your heart is not in it, you're really not going to maximize and get the results that you want. You may get okay results, you may get good results, but you're never going to get outstanding results because your heart's not in it. Your heart's not in it. So listen to your heart. I know that's kind of cliche and crap like that, but I think it is so important if your heart is not in it, right? If you don't wake up in the morning and go, this is what I want to do, I'm so freaking pumped. I'm more pumped to create content than I am to go shoot somebody's headshots and make money in an hour. Do you know what I'm saying? Like that's where my motivations come from. I would make content all day and I would market content all day because that's what I'm passionate about without even getting paid. Without even getting paid, I'll do that. And so that is what I'm going to offer in my freelance services and stuff like that. But that's what I want you guys to remember, is that when you sit down with yourself and go, okay, well, what can I freelance? What can I sell right now? Just know that right now doesn't have to be forever. Right? So even though, say, if you're like me and you're an awesome shooter, and but your heart's not in it. Say you're a decent shooter, but your heart's not in it, right? That's what I would call myself. I'm a decent shooter, but my heart's not in it. So why would I continue to try to establish a business based on that fact? It's a very unshaky, unstable foundation. It's a temporary means of making money, but that's not part of the grand vision and the grand goal for myself. And you should remember that when you're making those grand visions and dreams for yourself as well. If you're not completely, totally over the moon excited about a certain task, even though you're good at it, that's not something that should be included in your grand scheme. They should find some way to, yes, that's a skill of mine, and yes, you can use it, but that's not something that you should offer as a freelance, because you're not going to get, or a service, you're not going to get what you really want out of that, if that makes any sense, okay? So, yeah. How to start freelancing. Take a look at what you're good at. Find what really gets you going, what really gets the gears going, what really excites you. And just keep in mind, even though you're good at something, but your heart is not in it, okay, that's a clue. That's a flag. That's something for you to pay attention to. That way you don't keep making the same mistakes over and over again. And if you have some people around you that can be honest and give you some honest feedback and criticism and help you make those decisions better, because for some people aren't that aware. For me, sometimes I'm super aware. I can be super aware about things, but other times I'm totally oblivious, okay? And so that's why I'm so fortunate to have a partner who can call me out and say, you know, here's a suggestion for you. You know, why don't you do this? You know, that's more niche down. That's more, you know, I know that you don't want to do this in the industry, but you love doing this. And you can do that for this industry that you're already knowledgeable about. And so I have to thank Kevin. Big ups to him for, you know, keeping my head on straight. Because I was kind of like, what am I going to do with clean media if I'm not 110% passionate about shooting headshots? So that's just a little like a perspective. Just I'm offering my perspective as a freelancer doing it, hustling on that right now. And I have very big plans to take this freelancing thing in another direction, in a more refined direction, not totally just dropping what I wanted to do, but taking what I know and what I'm passionate about and executing on that and executing on my strengths instead of, you know, trying to drag up my weaknesses. And I wouldn't call my shooting a weakness because I think I shoot fabulously, decently. At the same time, my heart's not in it. If your heart's not in it, guys, then the return is not going to be as great as you want, right? So you can't put in 50 and expect 100. You know what I'm saying? All right. So that's it for today. We're going to keep it under 15. That is how to start freelancing with heart. Caveat. With heart. You can freelance and sell whatever the hell you want. But in order to have a successful freelancing business, your heart's got to be in it. All right. Bottom line. Bottom line. Okay. Good things, guys. Thanks for hanging out with me today on the Lab Rat Dailies. We're going to keep them under 15, like I said. And campaign for charity water is still going on. If you want to get us a wedding gift, because we need it. No, they need it, actually. If you want to get us a wedding gift, please donate to our charity water fund. Water is the most essential element on life, on earth, and we all need water. And and you know, just think of it this way, okay? What if suddenly you had to pay an arm and a leg to get water? Literally, like these people have to walk miles to get water. Sometimes they can lose an arm and a leg, literally, from random, you know, terrorist sects out there in Africa, or random crocodiles, wild animals. Like, they are still living in this sort of primeval kind of state, and we're here just walking downstairs to fill this guy up, made of glass, and they have to go walk miles and miles and fill up a dirty container filled with contaminated water, and that's ridiculous. So please help us raise money for these people that deserve the right to just have clean water. Okay, so good things, guys. That link is in the description below. Like this video if you did. Subscribe to the channel for more stuff like this every single day here on the Lab Rat Dailies. Once again, my name is Megan, reminding you to get in the lab. We'll see you next time. Peace out. This is cut. This means cut. If I had a cameraman, he would cut. I don't. It's me.